Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of the Libby Shaw Show podcast. So, I wasn't actually planning a podcast today. Well, I was planning a podcast, and I am still planning a podcast, but that podcast is going to be published later on in the week, probably in the next couple of days. But today I thought I would do an impromptu podcast because it's recently come out, well, today, it has come out in the news that Jackie Henderson of the Kyle and Jackie O Show, which has been running for more than 20 years, walked out on the show because of something that Kyle Sandilands said to her. So I'm going to play the audio for you. Now, just bear in mind, I do not own the copyright to this audio, but here is the audio of what Kyle said to Jackie that made her walk out.
Give me one example.
Be aware of what's really going on.
I am, Kyle. I totally am offended by you saying something like that.
Too bad if you are, because that's the reality of what we're dealing with here.
Oh, that is so unfair. I have been in here doing the segment totally fine and normal.
You've had your head on that, looking into the stars.
Yeah, I did because I just told you I was going to do it.
I heard all that, but it's too much. It's affecting everything else. You're too fixated on it.
What? Tell me what it affected during the show.
Every segment, every time you've spoken, you're off with you don't even know what's going on.
I would never say things like that about you. You have
too
no
bad,
idea how much
because I'm not doing that.
Yeah, because you make out like you sit there like you're perfect.
No,
There's
I'm
so
not.
many
I'm
things
not.
that you don't do, and I would never bring them up, and I would never say
What do you mean
say.
what I don't do? I don't mean to be rude, but as I said, it's fascinating, but I don't think it should be at the detriment of everything else on the show. This relentless research into the
I only just did it then. Oh.
So that is the segment. Now, it might seem like it's a major overreaction from Jackie O to walk out on the show, but I don't actually think it is. And the reason I don't think it is because basically Kyle, without saying it explicitly, was basically calling Jackie incompetent. He was saying she can't do her job. He was saying she was stupid. He was saying she was away with the fairies. He was saying that she was incompetent. He was saying that she had no grasp on reality. And as someone who has been subjected to workplace bullying in the past myself, yeah, not cool. Really, really not cool. And, Kyle and Jackie O, they haven't been without their controversies. Over a decade ago, there was that case of the nurse in the UK who they pranked, who then later committed suicide within a couple of days. And, of course, there's been, other controversies. But to outright attack your colleague and bully them in a workplace setting, not okay. And so basically the state of play where it's at right now is that Jackie is now refusing to work with Kyle Sandilands, which means that the show basically is just going to cease to exist. The Kyle and Jackie O show no longer exists. And Kyle Sandilands has been given notice by ARN. So they're the owners of Kiss FM, which broadcasts the Kyle and Jackie O show. Basically, he's been given 2 weeks to remedy the situation. And in reality, I don't think he can remedy that situation. I don't think there is any situation at all in which case it will ever be okay to bully and harass your colleague, let alone doing that live on air. It's bad enough when it takes place when it's not live on air, when it's private. But imagine what Jackie would have felt going through that workplace bullying, being called incompetent and away with the fairies live on air. Sorry, I've defended Kyle Sandilands in the past, but workplace bullying is one thing. No, He has to go. And Australians actually need to stand up and say that they will not tolerate workplace bullying, because workplace bullying is not and will never, ever be okay, especially when you're making, and this is the part that really, really grates on my nerves. The Kyle and Jackie O show is worth $200 million. So they get paid $10 million each per year for 10 years, equating to $200 million. And yet they still think workplace bullying is okay. And Jackie, despite being at the top of her game, is still subjected to workplace bullying. Why do Australians think workplace bullying is okay? How hard, tell me, how hard is it to go into a workplace and to treat your colleagues with respect? How hard is that? How hard is that? How hard is it to be polite to the people you work with? How hard is it to not put your colleagues down and to not call them incompetent? Yeah, sure, Kyle and Jackie O have a friendship and a working relationship, that extends over 20 years. But that's not the point. It's still workplace bullying. And nobody should ever get away with workplace bullying. It doesn't matter if it's a one-time thing or a two-time thing or however many times it takes place. Workplace bullying and harassment is workplace bullying and harassment. And the fact of the matter is, that's what Kyle did. He bullied Jackie O, left her in tears, left her feeling really upset and humiliated. And that doesn't mean she's dramatic or, she can't handle herself. She cares about her job. He had no right to insinuate that she was incapable and incompetent. And it's just unreasonable. So anyway, there is a beeping on my phone. I do apologize for that interruption, but I'm not exactly going to restart recording this podcast. But I would love to hear your thoughts on workplace bullying, and if you think that what Kyle did was workplace bullying, or if you think it was acceptable. And if you think it was acceptable and that Jackie has overreacted, I would love to know why you think that workplace bullying in 2026 is okay, and why you think that people shouldn't have a safe environment to work in, and why you think that I'm dumbfounded as to why so many Australians think workplace bullying is okay. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to this impromptu episode 6 of the Libby Shaw Show. There will, of course, be episode 7 later on in the week. And I hope you enjoy episode 7 as well, and that you enjoyed this one. And I'll hear you or see you or read you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.